let's jam.
And boom. What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back, goddamn, to another edition of Tell Me a Joke, the guideline of Chasing the Dream. I'm your host of Maniacal, Menace, Kyle Smith. Say the whole thing like a pimp named Slickback. And today, goddamn it, today, man, it is the entrepreneur, the go-getter, the comedian genius himself, Chad Alexander. How you doing, sir?
I ain't selling shit, dude. You said entrepreneur. I was like, man, I don't even have business cards, man.
Oh,
like, what are you talking about?
We all out here comics, man. As long as we're a comic, that is one attribute we can always give ourselves, because we always trying to sell something, basically ourselves.
Yeah. I mean,
You
I'm very, very bad at it. I'm very bad at selling myself. I have no idea what to do on marketing. I need a team. Like, I'm literally.
Yeah.
This is. I'll admit it because I don't care.
Okay.
Like, I'm 40. What the fuck is shame?
Hey, 38 over here.
But like, I'm recording. I'm recording a special.
Yes.
And I have no clue about style. So
style how? What type of style are you meaning?
Any style.
Clothing,
Any
and,
style, bro.
Like just
like yeah, clothing. So yeah, I'm literally bribing friends. I'm not like, cause I'm not paying them.
Yeah.
But they're so nice with their time. They're so generous with their time. I just asked them. I was like, hey, like, I need like an outfit for the special.
Right.
Do you mind like going shopping with you this weekend?
I know that's what's up though.
Yeah. And
Hell
like,
yeah.
when you got like good friends that are like down for you, and they're like, no, like, we'll get you hooked up. And I was like, okay, cool.
I would never know anything about thrifting if I wasn't open to friends taking me places.
Dude, I don't know anything about clothes, man. I don't know.
That's honest though.
I'm just like, please guide me.
Yeah.
Like, that's what, if I can manage to write a joke that is good enough to get me to break through to something,
Yeah.
understand that I'm going to have a whole team. Because if there's one thing that I guess I'm reasonably good at, or like there's two things I'm reasonably good at. One is just commanding and micromanaging the shit out of whatever I'm doing.
I see that. You do have things in order.
I got things in order. I'm a nerd. I can handle the technical side, but when it comes to how I present myself, besides the words that I say,
Yeah.
I gotta have a whole team to do that. Like, you know, come find good angles of me, and you take
Yeah.
the pictures,
Yeah.
and you deal with the social media
It's like
posts.
the kids
and
next door. Everybody had their own little attribute, and when they all came
Yeah.
together, it's like, you know, we built a Zord over here.
Tell me how the Ninja Turtles win this battle against the G.I. Joe. Because, like, look, they got a sword. This dude got an A-10 Warthog with guns and everything on it. So you tell
For
Frankie,
real.
you tell me how the Ninja Turtles win this battle, dude. Which is a literal conversation we had when we were 8.
That is something. It's like he's got some size.
Yeah.
He's got two sides, and there's a tank with big bullets.
Tell me how Nunchucks beats the Technodrome, dude, okay? Like, I understand the Foot Clan is evil, but you adjust this for me.
Yeah.
Like, he got throwing stars. They got a tank shaped like a globe. What's up?
That is not... Oh, man. I never... All right, you know what? Because when I think about old things, like way back when, like Willie, like Free Willy. Remember Free Willy?
Yeah.
Like, finding out that Free Willy couldn't really jump that high fucked me up, son. I was like, wait, for real? He can't, like, that can't really happen? How they did it then? You know, I'm young. I'm like, fuck no. Nigga, Sharks is doing it now. You know, like, what's happening? Like, the whale can't?
Yeah.
For real? Oh, crushed my fucking childhood.
When I saw 3 children defeat gangsters with karate.
Oh, 3 ninjas?
Three ninjas,
Oh, come
dude.
on. I thought I was beating up everybody. I'm always small.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, hell yeah, I'm fucking up anybody.
Ain't doing shit.
Let
dude.
alone, no, I watch
You
too
do
much
shit.
UFC, and I know about weight sizes. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I understand.
Ain't nobody named Tum Tum doing damage, okay?
No, he ain't even kicking hard enough. Like, I don't know.
You arrive at this guy, Rocky Colt Tum Tum.
Nah,
Like,
they don't have the motor skills yet. And
No.
they're not strong enough to be taking down a
getting
full-grown
this
human.
coordination going. No, he's not.
That is, oh.
But yeah, we came out of those movies going like, man, like karate's gonna save everybody. Like, yeah, you had Ralph Macchio, you had Rocky Colton Tum Tum, you had Surf Ninjas. You had Surf Ninjas.
Junior. Shit, I forget his name, but Ernie. There we go.
Yeah.
Ernie Jr.
It's like a whole, like, if you had a political chant at the time, it was going to be like, what do we fear? Quicksand. How are we going to win? Karate.
Quicksand and karate. You don't even talk about quicksand no more. And then Ernie was the first he was in one of the Ernie was he was the Asian kid in Ninja Turtles 2, but he was one of the stunts. He was one of the turtles. I think he was like Ninja Turtle. I think he was like Michelangelo.
Okay.
In the first Ninja Turtle, he was the one in the suit, and I was like, oh, nice, that's dope. I looked at Ernie and I was like, I got aspirations and dreams because I'm gonna be just like him. He knows how to work his feet. Like, that's good because I'm small and you need to cover distance, My arms ain't that long, so as long as I can work my feet, I could be like Harang from fucking Tekken, busting ass. I thought, but I didn't grow anymore, so I was like, this is
the funny thing is, like, suck. I went and I worked with a guy that was a trainer. He was man. I'm gonna disrespect his rank. The martial art is Kajikembo.
Oh,
and it's like the first mixed martial art. It's karate, kempo, judo, jujitsu. Kaju, Kempo karate, and American boxing. So that's the overall blend of it. Started in Hawaii.
Sounds like an anime cartoon.
It's a lot. It's got a lot going on, but it's a self-defensive art. And I worked with him as Sigung is not his rank now because he's actually like a grandmaster. He's like at the top rank. But at the time, it was Sigung Burt Vickers, and 7th degree black belt, I think it was at the time, because he trained with one of the founders of the thing.
Holy shit!
And we go and I'd go to his garage and learn this martial art, and then I realized man, I get hit once. I quit a lot of things. Like the idea that I'm gonna I got it in my back pocket. I got enough to where I think I could at least mitigate damage.
Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, I lean on his number one lesson, which was the best fight is the one that you escape before it happens.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. I feel like I like to use my mutant powers and get the fuck out of a sticky situation before it really starts to pop off.
My strongest superhero power is dropping my wallet where I stand.
Oh. Distraction. Boom.
And distraction and flee the scene.
It's like a transformation jutsu. Did you just turn into a wallet? I don't see him no more.
I'm saying drop all your loot like it's a video game, dude. Take one hit of damage, blah. He had a crossbow in his pack. What is this?
I still got my life though.
Yeah. I will escape it with a 1.5 hearts.
This is a hedgehog moment, and I love it.
and I'm running away. Hope I find a whole turkey. I'll power back up again. Yeah.
Or just a random apple somewhere.
Remember video games? Yeah. You had two options for health power-ups. It was an apple or a whole damn turkey. It's a whole damn turkey.
And you ain't going to be no good after eating that whole turkey. In real life, if you just find a turkey on the road and you ate that thing, the entire turkey, you ain't fighting no crime after that.
Fighting anybody.
At all, man. You going to want to take a nap.
And you got waves. How big is this gang? I done fought 300 people.
It's a lot of them, and they keep coming.
I'm thinking Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage was I remember when they came out with Streets of Rage 3, and it was you could be a kangaroo. What the shit?
That was crazy. It's just because we know kangaroos like to box and shit, how are we putting this into the plot of the story? I don't understand.
Boxing kangaroo.
You just put another fucking animal. And Tekken just took it overboard.
Yeah,
Tekken
we're scattered. We're very scattered so far in the conversation.
I love it.
We're talking about karate, ninjas, Ninja Turtles.
I was going to bounce back to karate because I took Taekwondo when I was little.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was my thing. So I've always looked down on karate people just because I'm Taekwondo's better. We use our feet more.
Yeah.
But Chuck Norris was my favorite. He was my favorite martial artist growing up.
Yeah.
The sidekicks was the shit. So
yeah, dude. I met him while they were filming that movie.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. There was a Chinese food spot near Airline and 45. I grew up like Hardy, Little York.
Yeah.
Here in Houston, for those that are international, if you're hearing the conversation. But I grew up at like around Hardy, Little York, so there was a Chinese food spot at Airline and 45, and we used to go there and get Chinese food. And my grandma, we go there every week. And so my grandma sent me in there to go get order the food and just like bring it out and everything. She waited in the car. And I came out and I was like, they say they're not making food. And my grandma got mad. She's like, what the hell you mean they're not selling food? And she went in there and she's like, what's going on? And I mean, they got like lights set up everywhere and everything else. And like all of a sudden, like Chuck Norris just walks out and my grandma just goes, you're Chuck Norris. And he goes, yes, I am, man. And so, like I had a whole conversation with Chuck Norris and he signed a menu for the place. But I lost it at somewhere because I was a kid.
Whoa.
Like I just lost it somewhere. But yeah, it was crazy. It's crazy to watch that movie and the restaurant that the family had. That's where we went. That's where we went every week.
Fuck out of here.
Went there every week for Chinese food.
Oh, you see, that would have never happened if we just wouldn't have. If we would have just stuck to some type of script. I never have a script. People just like, wow, I'm surprised. That was really good. Yeah, I know. I'm very curious. You know, that was amazing. Man, Chuck, what does his chin look like close up?
I don't remember because I was little, man.
Shit.
When did Sidekicks come out?
Whoa, man, like 94?
It could have been.
Oh, no.
I should have been old enough.
I'm sorry.
I should have been old enough.
I think it had to be like in the 80s, like 83, 84. Where we at?
No, it don't feel that old.
Not that old. Early 90s?
It's got to be like 92.
92. Okay.
92.
So I was
9.
All right.
I was 9. Well, when it came out, so when they were filming, I would have been like 7 or 8 when they were filming it.
Yeah.
Probably 8. But yeah, they would have been filming it like 99, like 1990, 91, somewhere in there. Yeah. So I'd have been, I was like 8. Somewhere around there.
That's a good time right there.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Wow.
I was like, you're totally oblivious to any situation that you're in.
Did you ever used to watch any Walker, Texas Ranger?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Because, what was it? No, CBS. Walker was on CBS, I think.
One
right?
of them.
Yeah.
Well,
that was like the only channel.
CBS.
That was like the only channel I could get with no assistance.
Yeah.
Because like I could get channel 2, which is like NBC, or I could get like channel 26, which was Fox before it was problematic.
Yeah.
Because it was just Simpsons and Married with Children and everything else. It wasn't news yet. But to get NBC and to get Fox and to get UPN, because I used to watch Martin. I used to watch Martin and Mama's Family.
So different.
That was my shit. But I remember like I had to sit like right up on top of the TV. And I had to have you had to like tinfoil wasn't enough to get the antenna to work. So I used to have a piece of my body in contact with the antenna to get the channel. So I would like sit like right next to the TV, and I'd be laid back, and I'd just have my foot like on the antenna, and you'd have to have like an arm out at some point
just to get a good signal.
So you'd be out there like catching the electrons of UPN and be like, okay, I got to sit here for a half hour with my hand in the air to catch Mama's Family.
Oh, I remember those old nights. We had the UHF channel, and those are the channels that I would get to watch things on. But most of the time, like my fingers, they didn't have the dexterity like to actually turn that dial.
Oh yeah,
the TV was so old, like I couldn't really. And then they had the dial inside the dial, like you turn the outside dial.
You had to like tune it.
Yeah. I was like,
our TV.
I don't know what.
My grandparents' TV was like cracking a safe.
Yeah,
like, you had to get it to get channel like 20, which was like UPN, Paramount, whatever it was.
Ours was 2.
For Martin and Mama's Family, like I used to have to set it like in between 19 and 20.
Yeah,
you couldn't set it on 20.
Yeah, the little
I had to set it.
The little hash mark right there.
You had to balance it right between 19 and 20 to get the channel.
I just understood that if I turned it all the way up, I would get Barney. And then if I turned it off, and if I left it, that things would get good, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, we just go leave it here.
Thing, dude, like the bizarre thing about like old TV signals and stuff like that, like in the summers and only in the summers, it was like an atmospheric thing.
Yeah.
There was like a channel in, I don't know where it was, Beaumont or something like that. But like when the atmospherics were just right in the summer, between like 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., I used to be able to pick up a channel from somewhere, and it was like on channel 5.
Really?
And they used to have like the best late night movies. Like I that's where I fell in love with movies. Like I'd wake up to it and like just turn the channel to 5 to see if I could pick it up. But that's where I found Maximum Overdrive. That's where I found Hell Comes to Frogtown. That's where I found
nice names.
Teen Wolf. I remember watching
my shit.
Teen Wolf was on like at least once a month in the summer, or at least like once like every couple weeks. It was always on. But yeah,
and I just realized that Jason Bateman was Teen Wolf too.
Yeah.
Oh, sucker! Just a young face Jason Bateman. I'm like, I didn't even know. I love me some Jason Bateman.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, yo, man, this guy makes me want to go back and watch it again. But that reminds me of just like being older and like seeing like technology and shit. You're a tech guy, right? Yeah. Like, do you remember when like HBO remember when satellites came out? And satellites, we had a big dish in the backyard. Like me and my dad, like, so we had all the channels. That's when I found out that they had a Cartoon Network and a Cartoon Network West. Yeah. I was like, there's a different, like, with more cartoons. Like, you got a different area of cartoon. I was like, fuck no, it blew my mind. I was like, how is this working? I don't understand. Also, why does this gotta be so big in the backyard?
It was gigantic,
so
dude.
Big.
I remember seeing it when I was a kid because like my somebody in my family, like at one point my entire family lived on one street. My entire family used to live on Hopper Road, like in between Aldine, Westfield, and Hardy. My entire family. I'll tell you, my entire family. I was like, we would go to Livingston for a family reunion. It'd be the same damn people on our street. And it's like, why did we go all the way here? We were already there. We were already all here. We drove like
just meet at the corner.
Yeah, like just walk outside. We're all here. Why we got to drive this long ass drive to go somewhere else and be together for a weekend? But yeah, like one of my great aunt like got a satellite dish. Like their family got a satellite dish, and it was like, oh, I guess we're fancy now. We got a satellite dish, and like the amount of pain that they had to deal with the satellite. First of all, I remember watching when I first saw it. I was like, "Why you got like a space jacuzzi?" Oh, because it was as big as a damn hot tub. It was huge. It was huge.
I was and we were like, God damn, we're capturing fucking signals from aliens.
Yeah. And like
Jupiter or something.
When you're a kid and you don't understand
at all,
all you understood was like the severity of the warning that the adults gave you. Yeah. They're like, don't you touch that goddamn satellite dish.
Don't change the channel.
Don't play around
don't
it.
Don't put it on nothing else.
Yeah.
Because from the moment that thing got,
we were pissed. We were pissed. From the moment that got installed, couldn't play in the backyard.
No, it takes up so much space.
You couldn't.
Oh, all the space is gone in the backyard.
Yeah.
Like my brother said, he would be able to make me disappear, and I was like, yeah, cool. I believed him, and he stuck me right in front of the dish, and he was trying to find the channel to make the dish. He was like, here, stand here, close your eyes. I was like, all right, cool. He's like, all the Smiths can do it. I'm like, all right, yeah, I couldn't wait. I knew y'all could disappear. Y'all just wasn't telling me. Fuck yeah, I was excited too. And then I realized that it was taking too long. And then I looked up and I seen that the dish was coming down on my head. And I'm like, oh, you motherfucker, are you serious? That whole time he trying to find the right station so it can come down and smack me on the head with my eyes closed. I was like, you're a rotten ass older brother, man. But that's older brother shit. And I don't think little kids get that nowadays. They don't have that older brother to beat their ass.
No, not at all, man. Like I see like the generation, like a generation after generation. So it's like, it's a weird thing, dude. Like I'm old enough now where people my age are having grandkids.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just weird.
Oh, that's so wild.
Yeah, it sneaks up on you.
Sure does.
Shit, you're 38.
Yes,
sir. You got some out there too. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I was like, when I went on a date with somebody, and she told me she was a grandma.
Ooh.
And I was like, there was a moment where I feel bad. I felt bad because there was like a moment of judgment where I was like, damn, like that early. And then I had to do math, and I was like, wait, 18 plus 18.
Yeah.
If you just like,
oh, you can go lower than that.
You can go lower than that. But I was like, let's get in the middle, because like I went to
don't take much.
I went to school with girls that got pregnant at prom, but I was like, damn,
36,
like
you a grandma.
Yeah, 18 plus 18. It's like, yeah, that's 36. Like you could be,
you're a grandma.
You could be a grandma easily in your mid 30s.
Add another 18 to that. You're a great grandma. You still alive?
Yeah. Yeah. But then I was like,
yeah.
But then like something hit me where I was like, that's kind of the way to do it. That's kind of the way to do it because I'm like,
You're on
I'm
the lineage right there.
Yeah, I'm 40 and like I haven't had kids.
I think about it all the time.
I'm at that separation point of going like, I don't want to be an old dad. Like the idea that Robert De Niro just had a kid at 78 years old. I was like, absolutely not.
Nah.
Absolutely not. Because like I feel like I got in shape and I feel healthy and everything else, and I feel as healthy as I feel healthier and more energetic now than I did when I was in my 20s. Because in my 20s I was like 260 pounds and like so out of shape.
Ugh.
And I think about it now and I try to do the math where I'm like, if I had a kid right now, like they would be graduating high school and I would be like 58.
Doing that dad math. Then my brother does it all the time. He just hit his reset button 3 years ago. Yeah. And he 42. He's like, fuck.
Yeah. So like now I'm just like pursuing comedy and everything else. I'm like, man, I think the ship has sailed. I think it's gone now.
Yeah. I mean, well, okay. Yeah, I guess.
But the idea that like if you're 36 and you're like a grandparent, like you're a grandma at 36.
It's so much.
There's a flip side to it where it's like that's the way to do it.
You're free now.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, because like you had your kids and you got them through adulthood and got them to the point of being adults when you're still young enough to go have a shit ton of fun.
Yeah.
Like 36, 38, 40, 42, even like mid 40s, like you're still young enough to where you can go out and have fun with grandkids. Like you got grandkids that are like 5.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like you're in your mid 40s, you got grandkids that are like the good years, like 7, 8, 9. Like you can go float the river with your grandkids. You know, you can go to a water park with your grandkids.
About the grandkids now. Like I would like to see grandkids.
Yeah, like you can go hit a water slide with your grandkids. Yeah, you know, like if you're 60 and you've fallen apart, like you can't really chase grandkids like that and go like have ridiculous fun times. You know,
Vaughn daddy was 70 when he had him.
Yeah, which
like,
is just like, man.
I've met somebody like that. Somebody I used to cheerlead with in school. Her daddy was old as fuck, and I was like, Yo, your grandpa here to come get you. She's like, that's my daddy. I was like, oh shit.
Can you imagine you get like your dad is 70 and you bring home a highlights magazine and he gives you like a whole lecture about how that's how the devil gets you.
You stuck in an era, daddy. Hold on. You need to see what's on this computer.
Yeah, like the devil got you comparing two pictures side by side to see what's different. That's how Satan gets you.
Oh no.
They got them World War II beliefs.
Yes.
You know?
That's ingrained in them. They ain't never gonna get that out. That's always gonna be there. Oof.
Yeah. Like you getting lessons on a whole different planet.
That's them deep lessons though. That's like I could take this and maybe twist it and learn from it, or I could be like, no, we don't do it like that no more, and just let you talk. Man, there's this old man that I work with, and I've been secretly recording him. I think this is probably the best time to put this out now. I secretly because he unwarrants a conversation. But, ain't nobody really, he just boom, hey, so let me tell you about my carburetor. And it's like, wait, what? Yeah. And he'll tell you down to the T about everything that's going on with his car. And then he'll hop on to his family. And then he'll tell you some shit about what's going on in his house. And it's like, nigga, you still here? I thought you been left. Like, I ain't even know. I feel rude that I've been, like, disrespecting your conversation this whole time.
When you got up and walked away, you thought he was done. Like, he's still... He's still documenting the minutes.
This motherfucker hit you with the Batman as he whispers away. Like, you'll turn around and he's still talking, but then you turn back around, he gone, but his voice is still kind of like, hey, and the separate porcelain's coming back because the good porcelain's not the porcelain no more, and they don't cook it like they used to cook it. They used to put it in the pots, and now they put it in the cauldrons. Yeah, porcelain wasn't good when you put it in the cauldron, but as you make that horseshoe shape, my ass don't like to sit on the horseshoe shapes of the porcelain, unless it's cooked in the cauldrons. Yeah, it's not the right heat temperature. You got to get it up to 375. I'm like, nigga, you still here? I'm like, what? What are we supposed to be working? Like, you gonna get me in trouble? Like, my god,
that's Encyclopedia George.
Yeah,
Encyclopedia George.
Like, if you catch him on an off time, like when you ain't doing shit and you just listen to what he's saying, like it's some real old school knowledgeable shit.
Yeah.
Like some real handyman shit, but like he whispers at a tone, he talks at a tone to where it's not loud enough to like we on a construction site. Like if I'm up on this ladder and you ain't speaking directly to me, it just sounds like murmurs.
Yeah.
You know, basically, and he constantly 24/7 is always chewing on something. I don't know what it is. He's like 75 and he's out doing construction, you know? It's like,
yeah.
And I'm like, nigga, what you chewing on, huh? Nothing? I'm like, no way you chewing hard. What we chewing on? Son, your mouth had not stopped moving. Do you have gum? If you do, you should share. If not, then what's in your mouth? Oh my God. It's just so funny. And my friend said, man, he a Billy Goat. I'm like, that makes sense. He got a big long beard and everything.
Man, I think there comes a point where you get old enough where you just constantly have to be running a systems check. You know?
I like that. That's exactly what's going on.
Because you don't know when something's gonna fail. You know, like you got to keep the jaw moving because all of a sudden, like it locks up on you. Like, well, today's the day that the jaw went. Today's the day. Like today's the day.
You'll see him stop and pause, and it's like, oh, it's a recharge right there. That's what motherfucker be asking. Like, nigga, what happened, son? Did you reboot? He's like, yeah.
Just,
I got one of the young heads out there. He always be like, hey man, stay hard. He's like, yeah, I'm just trying to find myself. He's like, oh man. He don't know nothing about David Goggins, man. You can't just tell this man stay hard 7 in the morning.
yeah. Well, that's a funny thing, dude. Like, it's like I watched my grandpa because my grandpa was born in 1938, and I watched him. I was able to see the evolution of his thinking. Because my grandpa was like a union man for his entire life.
Oh, that's a different way of life right
union
there.
Pipe bender, like worked hard. Worked hard.
Had a hard handshake.
And man, like in the years following, like when he retired, the lessons, because my grandpa would only tell you something once.
That's it.
It was like a passive lesson. Like, he just say it once. He just say, like, it'd be like little lessons. Like, it didn't make sense at the time when I was like 19. It'd just be like, always know your worth. Like always make sure you get what you're worth. Like all these things.
I'm working around all of them.
I remember when he got his 50th anniversary of being in the union, and they had like a whole ceremony and everything else. Because this was like 20 years after he retired. They invited him back because you still pay your union dues. You still get your pension. It's a whole thing.
That pension is woo.
And so they had a whole ceremony for everyone that reached like 50 years in the union.
Nice.
Yeah. And so, like, he went to go to that thing, and he just kind of saw everyone that he used to work with, and, how everybody's all broken down and everything. And, like, they gave their bodies and everything else for this job.
Everything.
And they got, like, the cheapest Walmart watch. Like, the cheapest Walmart, like, gold.
It's like where our money went.
Shitty watch. And, like, he was proud of, like, the fact that he made it. But at the same time, no one else knows this, man. No one else knows this. But, like, we had, like, a moment where he was, like, talking to me. Like, I stopped by one day. And he was wearing his watch, and he was like, you see this? He's like, when you don't demand to get what you're worth, this is what they give you in return. And he just he looked at me cold, and he was like,
hurt me.
Yeah. He just looked at me cold, and he was like, you'll never get anywhere working for somebody else.
Fuck.
And I was like,
he's gonna come on here and say some shit, Chad. God damn it.
I was like, shit. Because my first 20 years of being a career man, I had this ideal that if you work hard and you like dedicate yourself to like the mission or whatever the hell the mission is.
Yeah.
If you dedicate yourself to this mission, you dedicate yourself to like a skill or something like that, like you'll get somewhere. No, you won't.
No.
Like the lesson I learned is that if you're good at what you're doing, if you're like one of the best at what you're doing, they keep you there.
They just keep you around. Yeah.
They keep you in that spot.
Boom.
They don't let you go anywhere else.
You do good at this shit that I can't do, but I need it done.
Yeah.
So here, boom, you gonna be my guy. It's like I work for you now. Like I gotta get up at 6. Yeah.
But yeah, my grandpa like coming up, like both my grandparents, they came up and like they get laid off. My grandpa get laid off from jobs, and he was union, so
that's
You may be
That's the
laid
life.
off for like 3 months, 6 months.
Oh,
but
still got to pay them dues.
when I was a kid, like, damn, like, man, we're flashing back. I was probably like 6. I remember him saying this clearly. He was like, always keep putting tools in your toolbox. Because, like, he'd get laid off from a job and have like 3 months to like find something else. But he always had a garden going. Always had chickens.
Yeah.
Like, he'd sell eggs door to door.
Yeah.
Like, he'd walk like 10 blocks, 12 blocks all around our neighborhood selling eggs, selling cucumbers, selling tomatoes,
That
selling
makes me
everything.
feel a little bit better now.
Yeah, like he learned how to work on air conditioners. Like he'd be like a
He was a handyman.
independent. Yeah, like he'd help you build a house, like whatever
Yeah.
it was. And so it was like I watched him, and like I came up with that same kind of mentality of like just keep putting tools in your toolbox, keep putting tools in your toolbox. Like when COVID hit, I was like putting like little feelers out there, going like, shit, if you need your brakes done, come to my house.
Come on.
Like if you need this done, come to my house.
Yeah.
If you need like you want to build a play set for your kid, like I'll bring saws, like I'll build that shit.
Yeah.
So it's like I was always putting
I'll
tools.
jailbreak your fire stick. A lot
Yeah.
of people don't like to do that at all.
And so like being someone that loves film and loves comedy and everything else, like I watched a lot of Robert Rodriguez movies coming up, and like if you let this is VHS shit, this is old people shit.
Come on.
If you let the VHS roll all the way to the end, he would have like a little after credits thing that was like Robert Rodriguez's 10-minute film school.
Oh, nice. That's
And it would
dope.
be like, you know, how to film this or how to get this angle or like how to like bamboozle people into giving you like you know a camera or something like that, or like how to film as a guerrilla, like guerrilla film fair, like warfare film.
Yeah.
And he wrote, there's a book about it. It's called Rebel Without
dope.
a Crew, about how he made what was that first movie, El Mariachi, like how he made that. And it was like they went to Mexico, didn't have no permits. Like he checked out cameras from his school and just went to Mexico, made a movie, made that shit happen.
Come on.
Yeah. And so
That's
like
dope.
every lesson along the way, every movie he's made, he's like I think it was on The Faculty. He asked the studio or whatever, like it was like they gave him budget to make The Faculty, and he was like, hey, if I don't spend it, do I get to keep it? And he was like, they were like, yeah, like it's your budget, go make a movie.
I got
And
it.
so he learned how to do everything.
Yeah.
He learned how to write music, learn how to score, learn how to do Foley. He set
Jack
up his,
of all trades.
yeah, he set up a Foley studio in his dining room where they like record sounds of people's like feet moving and
Come
everything
on.
else.
That's
Like,
what that's called?
yeah, he did all of it himself.
Oh.
Did all of himself.
Adding tools to the toolbox. Come on.
Tools
now.
to the buck. And I think he
Come on
pocketed.
now.
I think he walked away with like $4 million on top for making that movie, and then rolled it in to building a studio and sold Spy Kids. And then he made.
I love Spy Kids.
He did everything in house for Spy Kids. Everything. Like he got like set up a green screen in his garage, was doing special effects and everything
Yeah.
else. And that's a big budget movie.
Fuck yeah.
He did all that shit.
Oh, he did that by himself.
Yeah.
Spy Kids.
Spy Kids.
Man, Spy Kids was my shit.
Spy Kids.
I really enjoyed that movie.
So he directed From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh.
He formed a band called Shingon. That's the band that's playing in the bar in From Dusk Till Dawn. He's the guitar player in Shingon.
Oh, come on.
And so they used his band to score the entire movie.
Oh, get the
All
fuck
the
out of
music
here,
in the movie is
son.
made by Shingon, dude.
That's dope.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like that, like
Quentin Tarantino, that shit.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
just Rebel Without a Crew. Like man, like if you can find an angle to it, like do it your damn self. So today for the special, like I'm shopping around trying to find pipe and drape rentals. Like,
Okay.
because so we're doing it at Secret Group in the box, right?
Right.
So the box
Good spot to do it.
It's a great room, But you know, I want to dress it up a little. I got a visual that I want to hit. So that black brick wall in the
Yeah.
back. For acoustics, you get a lot of bounce
yeah,
and
a lot of
sounds and
bounce.
everything. So you know I'm a tech
Definitely.
nerd with acoustics
Yep.
and everything else. So I was like, okay, we got to get a handle on the audio.
Yeah.
We got to get a handle on some visuals and everything else. So I'm gonna rent pipe and drape, and we're gonna like curtain off the entire thing.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
so, you know, dress it up, make it look cool on camera, everything else, but also control the sound and everything else. I got Bob Lane, an amazing guy that does AV. He's the guy that runs karaoke at the Secret Group. If you've seen him, if you've seen him up there. But man, he does audio, video. I've worked with him on a lot of shows that I co-produced and hosted and everything else.
Yeah.
And like, man, he'll come out and deploy the rig, man, a full blown light rig. You got like a
Right.
truss and everything else. So we're gonna like he's gonna hang lights and light the entire thing for the box. Like it's gonna be good.
Oh hell yeah!
But just the task of, I made 4 phone calls today. I got 4 quotes, and immediately I'm looking on Amazon for how much I can buy drapes for.
Yeah,
because dude, like the money that they are charging to rent curtains. I heard Christopher Titus to rent curtains.
Whoa,
it is money, dude. It is money. So now it makes a lot of sense, because I heard Christopher Titus say on a podcast when he goes and books theaters, that like when you go and book a theater, nothing happens in a theater. Like, it's not like the house is already set up. A theater is just a building. Now, when it comes to everything else, lights, sound, the speakers that they hang, the curtains, the backdrops, all that is union. All that is union. I know a lot of guys that work union,
I know some people that do that.
So you know some union guys. I know some of the guys that do like union lighting, union stage grips, all those guys. But nothing happens in one of those venues without the union being involved. And when you book a theater, there ain't shit in that theater. No. You got to bring all the stuff to the theater.
Yeah.
So you got to find guys to do lights, sound, like curtains. You got to get all that shit. So I remember Christopher Titus saying on a podcast where he was talking about the budgets of booking a tour, and the idea that you're going to sell out a theater, you're going to make a bunch of money. You're not, because all of those things are costs that go into selling a theater. So if you can't get people to show up for more than $35 a ticket, like $42 after fees and everything else, and it's a 1,200 seat theater, you still got to pay for all the overhead for union stagehands, grips, curtain rental, lights, sound, all that shit. And by the time you get out of there, you may only make, you may just break even on the cost to get you into the theater to begin with.
Right.
So he was just like, buy your own curtains. He's like, they're big as shit, but you can ship them before you get there.
Oh, I makes curtains.
It was something like, he's got but I'm talking like for theaters.
Oh, yeah, so that's true.
They're like 40 feet.
Yeah, you're right.
You gotta, I don't know where you find that much velvet, but it's a shit ton of velvet, dude.
I just thought about that. I was like, when you think about the box, the club, well, I can make a curtain.
The box is easy. Yeah. I'm a nerd. Dude, I went and took measurements of the entire room. I put that shit in AutoCAD, dude. So I have a blueprint of the box. I got a blueprint of the box, dude.
That's awesome.
So I know that
blueprints are good to look at.
I've been saying this all day. The stage dimensions of the box is 10 feet 1 inch deep, 16 feet 9 inches across. From deck to the ironwork, it's 10 feet. Or no, it's 9 feet 6 inches. So I've been rattling that off all day, so it's ingrained in my memory now, the dimensions of that damn stage, man.
Just to make sure you'll get this. Make sure.
Just to make sure I get it covered. Just to make sure I get it covered, man. So it's like, yeah. So he was talking about he owns I think 3 sets of drapes for theaters.
3 sets.
He owns 3 sets because they get to a venue, they collect. As they go to the next venue, they are from wherever they were the night before. They got to go on the way out of town. They got to go stop at UPS or FedEx and get that crate of their drapes shipped to the venue they're going to be in 4 nights.
Yeah.
So they got a next stop that night to do a show. That's set 1. It's almost like a touring band. So a band,
they go beforehand.
Yeah, a band as big as Aerosmith, they got 3 or 4 whole sets of their gear in transit at all times.
Whoa!
Because they got to load in for wherever they're so tonight they'll be in Houston at Toyota Center. Tomorrow they're in Dallas. The next night they're in Oklahoma or some shit. So it takes 2 days to set up their stage. So when you're hitting shows back to back to back to back,
you need more than one stage.
Yeah.
So you buying double and triple the shit. Yeah. The same shit.
Yeah. Like Metallica, Kurt Hammett's his whatever that guitar is that's got the Ouija board on or whatever that.
The wah-wah? Oh,
he got 4 copies. He got 4 copies of that shit. He got 4 copies of that's the original Ouija. No, he got 4 of those. They're at the next venue, dude.
Oh wow, that's a lot of money you got to spend on it.
It's so much money. It's so much money.
I never know. I never thought about the severity of what has to go into actually making a tour or anything like that. Like I'm just trying to get into the point to where it's like, how I keep getting booked in clubs to where I get paid substantial.
Yeah. So right now,
that's what I look for.
If we are lucky enough to get to the point where we are able to do this at that level of like booking theaters or booking clubs are like right now the clubs are because clubs got everything you need. Yeah, clubs already has audio and already has like all this stuff. They've already got it set up. That's the club. It's there all the time. So right now, like we are in the luxury spot where we're like, oh, we got to dream about doing theaters and that's the goal and like doing arenas and everything else. But the logistics when you get to that level is insane, especially if you're booking yourself and it's not through like a promotion company. Because like Titus books all of his own stuff. So it is his own budget, his own money, his own production company books his stuff. So he runs all of it himself. It's not like he has a management company that's handling all this for him. Like other comedians, they're under management. Management calls and makes all the logistical arrangements and deals with the budgeting and everything else. So right now, it's like I'm putting tools in the toolbox. What do I got to do? What do I have to know at this level?
Right.
If I am lucky enough, because like it's luck. You know, you can work as hard as you want to.
That's
but
what everybody been saying.
To be an entertainer, it's a lot of luck. And so if we are lucky, if I am blessed enough to get to that level, then I'm already trying to think ahead about what do I need?
Yeah.
And what's the logistics of doing this?
Right.
You know, I don't know. So yeah, like coming up, like I've been doing this for like 8 years now.
Yeah.
So when you would see, you get defeated easy.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. Like the move,
got a lot
if
of
you can't,
defeated moments on here.
yeah, if you can't get booked in a club, go make your own room. What do you need to go make your own room? Well, you need a PA system. You need mics. You need a mic stand. You need like a way to book. So you got to own ways to like advertise. You got to find a way to promote everything else. So I bought a PA system. I still got all that shit. And then I ran a few shows and I was like, this sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, the fuck it does.
It sucks, dude.
It sucks ass.
Because you start trying to like tell venues and you try to operate like a professional. And it's like, hey, so when can I load in? When can I do this? Because I used to be in bands, so you try to like negotiate with venues, and it's like, okay, we need to load in at this time. It takes this long to set up. It takes this long to rearrange the room. If you got to move tables and move chairs and everything else, because like you get to the venue, you get to the spot. Sometimes like chairs are still stacked on tables and the room's a wreck, and they had a quinceañera the last night that shit popped off and like the room's all like just destroyed. You got to go clean. Sometimes you got to get a mop and clean up your own room and stuff like that. So it's like before I even get to the point of me telling jokes, I've already been there for 3 hours cleaning and rearranging and setting things up. And if you want it to look good, set up lights. Maybe you got a backdrop, like, you know, because like some rooms,
setup.
Some rooms I bought a backdrop and like hung up. You know, I worked with, I did a burlesque show for about a year that I hosted. So like, thankfully, I just pretty much had to show up and do comedy,
get on the mic.
But you want to help out, so like we're in the room. Like the show is at like 10. I'm in there in the room with all of the girls that are on the show, and Bob also did the lights and sounds for those shows too.
Yeah.
We're in there as early as like 1 or 2 o'clock,
right? Setting
the stage, getting the backdrop set up, setting up lights, setting up speakers, rearranging chairs, doing all this work. And so by the time the show comes around, like I'm tired.
Definitely don't feel like doing
I'm tired.
Yeah,
I'm tired. We had like sometimes you got to get there early to turn the air conditioner on. They ain't gonna turn the air conditioner on for you.
It's warm as a motherfucker while you setting up.
We did shows in July. It's 106 outside. Guess what temperature it is in the room? 106.
Yeah. And
so you're just in there sweating, losing 12 pounds of water weight, trying to set up curtains, going like, I don't even want to do this shit anymore, dude.
Shit. Back at home, back in New Orleans, we had well, speaking of, like, by the time this comes out, we'd already had a spontaneous show happen. But I'm going back home next week, and basically we used to have a show. We used to run. It ran for like at least 5 years, something like that. Every Tuesday, spontaneous show with a It's a crew of us, Young Funny, and like I'm gonna be going back home to do that, but just like having to deal with everything because not all venues are the same.
Yeah.
Not all venues are all inside. Not all venues have the capacity for everybody to be inside. Our venue was outside next to a train track. Like right next to the train track. Like if you hop the fence, if you hop the fence, that train track right down. Yeah. Okay. So we've done this fucking show here for so long, son, and so many people try to put on shows at this place, and it wouldn't work. But for some reason, we were good enough to where it popped off for a long time.
Yeah.
And it went on for so long that the train conductor knew on Tuesdays, bitch, you better not honk that horn when you come past. They understood because we would yell. They can't hear us, but they would just see a whole bunch of people like, you know, as they pass by. And it's like, motherfucker, not on a Tuesday, man. You better shut that shit up. It's already bad that we got to have a train time because of you fucking coming through. Now, we don't, you know, we got to fucking stall for time and shit. But, oh, man, putting things together, you never know, you know, like the elements you got to deal with. Mosquito season.
Yeah.
You know, our shit was outside. So it's like, damn. All right, but still getting people that are to come as well. You still got to give a good enough product for people to want to be like, oh, I'll go to that again, even though despite the conditions, you know, it's like, and I don't want to have to keep thinking about that weekly. You know, that was always a headache. And now that I'm out here, which I know that is not something that I'm about to jump into at all. Like starting a room or anything like that, shit is way too far. Also, there's no central hub to where people just like in New Orleans, motherfuckers just walk to certain places. Out here, there ain't no just walking to certain places.
Not at all.
And they ain't no free parking everywhere. You know, it's like so. It'll be difficult if people ain't strategically coming to where you're at.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, like
so Charles, if you listen to this, like we like a lot of us understand. You know, there's shows that happen when it's a free show and a tip jar goes around. Like, trust me, we understand.
Yeah.
We understand that you spent like around, like if you coming from a long way, like anytime that I go downtown to perform, almost everything I do as a comic is at a loss. Almost exclusively at a loss. I started calculating and keeping track of this shit this year, and I just got depressed.
Because it sounds so sad. Because I'm glad I've avoided that because I know it's going to hit me like that.
Yeah,
I know it is.
Yeah, like I did the calculations. So where I live, like we're both North Side kids.
Yeah.
I got to commit to driving when I go to Secret Group.
Hence that word, commit, goddammit.
When I got to commit, that's a 37-mile one-way drive.
One way.
So calculating gas, calculating time, calculating parking when I get down there.
Calculating traffic.
Everything that I do downtown is at a loss. Everything. Everything. So trust me, like I know when y'all come to the club and y'all see this, like when you see like, oh, what's the door price, $10? Well, that's just absurd. Like no one's doing comedy at this scale with any kind of glitz and glamour. Like we're making money, man.
Right? We're sorry we gotta charge
money.
you this much, but please, can you please?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to see it, right? You want to see it. You came this way.
Every show is PBS Pledge Week. We are just like, hey, if you've enjoyed comedy, this is put on because of viewers like you. Okay,
exactly.
every show should stop dead ass in the middle and just have a 15-minute advertisement.
Show the rainbow real quick and have somebody special come on the front screen. Oh, hey,
it's like, you want to see the good Bob Ross episodes? Like, get on the phone, give that dude your credit card number. Okay.
Subscribe, goddammit.
Yeah, subscribe. Because like I mean, like the payouts for some of these shows, and that's all levels of entertainment. That's all levels because like I know people that are like in bands, and like my cousin, he was in a band. They toured, and they sold shit tons of merch, like T-shirts. Like they were like one of like my cousin's girlfriend. Basically, they had to run his house like the headquarters for all their merch.
Whoa.
Because every stop on that tour, they toured for like 8 weeks. Every stop on that tour, they sold out of everything. So
That's
she was like, just like shipping the curtains. They had to know post offices every step along the way because you can ship something to a post office and have them hold it for you for a few days. So they were like, she was boxing up like reloads of merch every single day and shipping it out to like the next stops. So they had boxes waiting for them for like the next 7 nights.
System right there. Can't do that by yourself.
It's a whole system.
Yeah.
So they would like swing by the post office, still driving. So like get in the car, start driving 2 a.m, pull up in the post office. Along the way, get the box of their merch. Still have to drive 4 hours for wherever the next show is. Find a hotel, a motel, something to like crash for 6 hours, and then unload, set up all their gear, play a show, sell merch, get in the van. It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
That sounds so exhausting.
They made no money. They made no money selling out of all of their merch every night.
Oh, what?
You know, between gas, like lodging, all of the like, things that broke along the way, flat tires, everything. They left like a box. They left a box of merch on the tow hitch one night because they were exhausted. So they left a box of merch on the tow hitch and pulled off one night and just they were like, well, someone got friggin' 60 free t-shirts for the band somewhere in Alabama, but the logistics, man, like I don't mean to like wear anybody's ears out
I love
preaching.
It, son. When you get into the weeds of something that you're really passionate about, that's why this Tell Me a Joke, the guideline of chasing the dream, because we all out here dream chasing. That's why I don't say anything. I just let it go where it goes, because somebody that's as passionate about what I love, and just as you, like, it's just gonna come out natural, and just like you don't think about where you're gonna have to go when you want to do something, especially when you first started. It's like, oh, this is exciting, it's fun. And then when you're like, all right, I want to make this career, you start thinking about the logistics of it all, and it's like, wait, hold on, all right, this is it's still fun, right? It's still fun,
dude. So I saw a breakdown, like talking about like the Writers Guild strike right now. I saw a breakdown of what it means to like sell an option on a script, and like, okay, cool, so you sold an option on a script, but you're locked into like development hell for that thing for like 3 years. So your option payout would be like $40,000. Like, oh, cool, I sold a script for $40,000. But if you want all of it, if you want all the $40,000, you got to chase the option all the way down. So the script comes in, or the script sells to somebody, whatever it is, right? So now the studio's like, okay, now write a breakdown. Okay, the breakdown comes back to you with notes. And now you got to write another breakdown. So you send that back. And then, okay, cool. Like, your breakdown made them park it at like a subsidiary, because it's like, okay, we don't want to put it on one of the big or one of our big 3 properties. Let's move you over to the independent side of things. Independent side got notes. So they send your breakdown back. They got notes on your breakdown. They want you to rewrite that breakdown, but now they want you to write a breakdown of the breakdown.
My God.
Because this studio doesn't want to read the whole breakdown. They can't afford to read 4 pages, so they need you to cut that down to 1.
Oh, wow.
So it can pass whoever is at the line to pass that up to the next person that reads the 4-page breakdown. So that comes back to you now. Okay, cool. Your breakdown's cool. Okay, now write us a treatment. What's a treatment? A treatment's like a 20-page version of that like 90-page script.
Yeah.
So you got to write it. They got to write a treatment. Well, treatment comes back with notes. So you got to rewrite the damn treatment now. And like by the time everything breaks down, you've been in this cycle for 3 years. You've written 50 drafts of this thing. So your breakdown per year is like $13,000 a year. So you're now below like minimum wage. Chasing what, like, oh, well, you making money, dude. You writing scripts for movies. You making money, man. You making money. $13,000 a year for that effort. And the hours. Hours, man. Because I've written screenplays. It's hours, man. It's hours, dude.
I can't even think about just sitting down writing something for somebody else, like, and then like it not going anywhere. I hate reading. If it ain't read to me, it's just, I'm not a person that can sit down and read some shit. Like, it was never my thing. So to write some shit that's long?
Yeah, I think Whitney Cummings said on a podcast that she's sold like 40 TV pilots.
Whoa.
Like, she's sold 40 TV pilots, and she was like, you know how many you've seen? 2. That's it. But like, you sell it, and this thing that you worked on for years, polishing, taking notes. You got to deal with this producer's vision on the shit.
It's mine though.
He send it back to you with all these notes and everything else, and you got to rewrite it and you got to change everything because he's got an idea. You got to entertain this dummy for what you sold and everything else. And like this passion, this work and everything else, 3 years of your life got sold, and they don't have to make it. They bought it. They own it. So it's like you did the work, you did the labor, and that shit is theirs now.
And now it's just on the shelf. Hey, you got your money though, right? You got your money. Hey, we paid you.
You got your money for it, and that's it. You got to move along. You got to move on. Make the next thing.
Can I get it back? Can I get it back? I mean, you're not gonna do nothing with it. Anything? It's just yours now.
So people that have been in the industry for a long time, because oddly enough, I worked with a guy back in like 2001 that was in the Actors Guild. Like he was an extra on Star Trek for years. Like he played Romulans, played Klingons, played everybody. He was on like 6 seasons of The Next Generation. But like hearing how they broke down like how the system works and how studios work and how all the writing and everything else works, like the Writers Guild strike, a lot of like people that are in the know are already kind of preaching this sort of cautionary tale. Like if you're stuck in the middle, you're not a beginner, but you're not Jason Sudeikis, you're not one of the big bigs. Like he's in the guild. He's a writer,
right?
Ted Lasso, that guy. So the breakdown now becomes the reality of the studios. So the writers are striking. Like other guilds are going to strike in solidarity. I think the Directors Guild, some of their contracts are coming up. So the Directors Guild is about to go on strike, I think. So all these guilds and everything, what they're fighting for is the reality of the studios have stocked. Like you talk about preppers, like you talk about dudes in camo stocking up beans in their basement and shit like that. Like these studios are preppers. But that's why Hollywood guilds, Hollywood unions are so tight together. In solidarity together, because all these studios have banks of unproduced work. There are armies of people employed by the studios that their only jobs are to go through the archives. The archives are these warehouses that are full of cardboard boxes, full of printed scripts because they predate the internet.
Whoa.
They predate digital. So they have hard copies of things that were written in like the 60s, the 70s, things that they own that have never been produced, never been looked at. So now they got it, and it's seasonal. So they have a team of people they go grab your box. Okay, you got 40 properties that are due by the end of the week. 40 properties that you have to review, make notes, send it forward.
Fuck.
Like pick what do you think may have a chance this year.
It's like reading 40 books by the end of the week.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Not only do you got to read 40 scripts.
Oh, no.
You got to write sometimes a spec treatment or a spec breakdown on that script. So that's already like 4 to 20 pages of work, depending on what they want from you, a week.
Oh, I don't.
And then you got a quota. So your quota may be you got to green light 10 scripts this week. Wow. You got to green light 10 properties the studio already owns.
Yeah.
That gets passed up to the next person that reads your breakdown and decides if you did a good enough job picking what may work or not. And they got armies of people doing this, dude. Armies.
Is this what Miss Pat went through to get on Miss Pat show?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I mean, also you get like there's another side of that where you got a hot property. You got someone like Taylor Tomlinson or like Eliza Schlesinger or someone like somebody that's hot.
You got.
Somebody that's hot.
Let's get it out now.
Yeah,
right.
Like strike while the iron's hot. So if you got something waiting, like I think Whitney Cummings has always had something in her pocket. She's always had something to show. Because like you get when you're hot, you get produced and you get approached and say like, "Hey, do you got anything going on?"
Like Danny McBride.
Yeah,
it seemed like he always got something ready.
Yeah, like you got something, you got anything going on? You got a story, you got something else, and so it's like, do you like as a comedian, do you have a writer's submission packet ready to give?
Ooh,
because someone may see you on a stage one night and be like, "Hey, I'm a talent scout for the Tonight Show. Like, do you have a writing packet?" Like, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have representation? Do you have this? And so if you can slide them a writing packet when they ask, and when you have eyes on you that are interested, then you're ahead of the curve. You're already presenting yourself as like, I'm professional. I understand the game. I understand the business. I am ready. Here's my writing submission packet. And 3 days later, you might be in the writing room for the Tonight Show. It can happen that fast. It can happen that fast.
This is like Sheldon Cooper from...
Always be putting tools in your toolbox, man.
Yeah, definitely. Like, this is a... Man, because I was watching...
But also, I'm only 8 years into this. I'm only saying what I've heard. I don't know shit. I subscribe to the Ralphie May School of...
Hey, that's a deep 8 years, though, right there.
I subscribe to the Ralphie May School of nobody knows shit until they've been doing it for 10 years. So I got 2 years to be verified if I know some shit.
I don't know that, and I've been at this for 11. So, but this, we don't get none of this down in New Orleans. All it is like comedy. Boom, get on stage. That's why, like, the talent is there, but what to do with it and how to go about it, you can take the Master P route, but you see the quality of that shit. Yeah. So it's just like, nah, I want Daniel Tosh status. I want to get there. You can't get that being there. Like, I realize that. It's only going to be so much. It's only going to go so high. And it's going to take a very, 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 very long time. And it's like that.
But you got comics here that are a product. And there's a lot of comics that I look at going like, damn, I hope you got a writing packet. I hope you got a script of your life. I hope you got something ready to slip. Because they're characters. And me being a movie nerd, like, I look at people like Will Loden or MC Lotto.
Oh my God.
Or God, there's so many of them. I look at somebody like Cora Staloran and Kinjamin, and like I look at these comics and go, you are a product that if I were in control of something, I'm wanting to put you in something.
Yeah.
Like, I see character possibilities and I see ways to fit them into stories.
Yeah.
And just go like, if somebody is smart, they're going to approach someone like Lotto and ask, do you have you got something? You got a pilot? You got something? Because like, we're ready to work with you. Like, we see you are something that we can put in front of the masses and we can package you, but do you have a story ready to sell? And people like, I don't know. I always try to think ahead. And my sort of like career planning, like, 'cause I'm an IT nerd, like I came up in there. So like, my job as like IT director was always, I got to think about where the company's going to be 10 years from now. And I got to plot things now that are going to set us solid for 5, 7, 10. So 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. And so I think about that now when I look at comics. Like, what are the things that you're doing now? What are the foundations you're putting in place to be ready for year 10, to be ready for year 15, to be ready for year 20? Yeah. Like, if you've been sitting in your room and you've been dealing with, I got to go out and do this set so I can make $10 tonight. That's the reality of it. But what are you doing in your downtime? Are you like in the notebook? Are you writing down stories? Are you in final draft writing scripts? Are you putting shit together? Because those are the things that make a career.
Right.
Because like, we all know comics that are in their 60s that are still, slugging it out.
You hate to see those people when they come to the construction field. And it's like, damn, then you're in your 70s. Yeah. Like, why are you still out here?
But even in stand-up, like,
but I don't think that. But it's different in stand-up, just because like that's a passion that I don't think will end at any age you are. That's just something that you don't want to continue to do.
There's comics in Tennessee and Kansas and shit, like guys that are the best. They're the best of the best at what they do. They are some of the best stand-up comics on the planet. You've never heard their names. They've never recorded an album. They've never done a special. But they've been doing it. They've been doing an hour to 90 minutes every single night for 40 years. And it's that Appalachian Trail dinner theater kind of stuff, the family, the clean, the tourist stops and everything else. And they just been working that same loop.
Making their living.
Seasonal, cruise ship comics, seasonal. Go out, book 6 cruises and, make what you got to make for the year. That's
right.
But the hours that you have to have when you're that kind of a comic.
Yeah.
Like you gotta, I think the thing for cruise ships was like, you gotta have like 2.5 hours, 3 hours of material.
Man, I looked at the shit that they needed and I was like, oh, you have to have a clean set. You have to have a good quality video of a clean set. Then you also have to have your adult set.
Yeah.
And then there was some other shit that they asked for. They needed this and then they needed that. And I'm like, it's like little attributes that you got to pick up along your way, like in a Zelda quest or some shit. It's like, motherfucker, I got to go back to get that. Yeah. I already came through the Enchanted Forest. Now I got to go back to the motherfucking forest just to go get this shit because I didn't make the left because I couldn't get through that door.
But comics on tour like Taylor Tomlinson and Titus, like they got their hour to 90-minute set and they tour that for the entire year, sometimes 3 years. But they got that hour that works for 2 years. They're out on the road doing that thing for 2 years. If you're like a cruise ship comic, you're doing 5 shows. You're doing 2.5 to 3 hours of comedy a night, and you can't repeat a joke. What the shit?
Yeah.
These are the Titans, man. Like these are the Titans.
Yeah, that was what they was asking. It was like we need you to have like 3 different sets for the nights. Clean, and then they have separate ones for dirty for adults. And I was like, this is, I believe I can have it, but oh my god, that's a lot. It is a lot. I'm not complaining. I get in there. Shit, I'm one of those people that, man, if you give me opportunity, bitch, I'll make it work.
Yeah,
I'll make work.
I
just want it. I just want that opportunity.
Whenever I think about it, all I hear is Dawson's Creek from Varsity Blues when he said play the next 20 minutes for the rest of your life. That's bullshit. Play the next 20 minutes for the next 20 minutes and be gods.
That's a good. Oh, that's a good one. I like it. I like that. Oh yeah,
Let's be like gods.
I was trying to go to a Young Sheldon analogy earlier with the you need to make sure you build your resume. Basically, Young Sheldon was trying to go to Ivy League school, but they was like, man, you got any credentials? You put down any essays? Did you do this? Did you do any community service?
Yeah.
Do you have this? He was like, nah, I just figured I'd be able to get in on my looks and my adorable.
That's comedy.
I'm 11.
That's comedy.
I'm like, yo, he's talking to me right now.
Yeah.
So this is me. I'm like, every time I talk on here, I'm like, this is me building a resume because I've had this for 3 years now.
Yeah.
So like, it's building up, and it's like every time I listen to podcasts, I'm like, it feel like I know this motherfucker now because I've been hearing him for 5 years. I just been listening to him for 5 years, and now the more that people listen to me now, like I see it to build, and people like, all right, so I feel as if people get to know me more. But then it's also building me because I wouldn't know any of this shit if you wouldn't have told me. Like I wouldn't have known. Yeah, this is very informative as well. It's like you see me. I got a box. Look at me.
Yeah,
that's upgrading right there. That's an upgrade. Kudos, shout outs to you, Chad Alexander. Thank you, sir. God.
Wow, dude, thank you, man. I love talking to you, man. This is a blast.
Oh, this was good. Oh, do you want to play a game of choices again? Since we
yeah.
Okay.
The Mogwai thing was man. Because I edit the podcast.
Yeah.
So I edited and I had to figure out where to cut it. So I went back and listened to all of Will Loden doing his break, and I'm screaming laughing. I'm screaming laughing.
God, I have never had anybody take it to that extreme before. I'm like, wow, it was a whole new level, and I'm like,
and it didn't stop
at all.
It didn't stop.
Oh my God, I was like, you are a fucking comedy genius right now. This is.
He could have done an hour on explaining his choice. He could have done an hour just on explaining his choice.
So good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but now that I got you here, this is basically like you were kind of like a ghost in the wind on the first one. There's so many of us on that on our little swap cast. Which people will hear that, they'll be like, "Oh, that was a good time. I did listen to that one." Anyway, but
Play a game of choices. You got be one, raise one, sell one. In relation with the last one, and your options are mermaid, mogwai, Mexican, or manatee.
Oh, we did. It's the same game. And I don't.
Oh
know.
yeah, no, yeah. It's always stays the same.
Yeah, and I don't know if I want to change my choices. So I think my last one was
You were a mogwai last time.
I was a mogwai, and I think I got a date. I got a date one or like
It'd be raise one, sell one, and then fuck one. And I think
I chose to fuck the Mexican because like Latina women.
yes, that's
are
what it
just
was.
like,
That was.
that all day.
Yeah.
That's my.
And you said if you got wet, that you would be able to multiply. You would purposely
yeah,
get yourself
exactly,
wet and multiply.
exactly. Like if I got
was
wet, then
like-
I could just become like the Hulk gremlin. So my furry form is not gonna last. Like I'm gonna be green with big ears and just
Yeah.
running amok. Running amok. Like Gremlins 2, I'm taking over this movie theater. I'm taking over this movie theater.
Hell yeah. And when you went that route, I was like, oh, that is good. I didn't even think, but no one's ever thought about that.
Yeah.
Just
think about how being a mogwai, think about how being a male mogwai defeats the patriarchy. I get splashed in the back and I launch offspring out of my back. Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? Like, if I become a gremlin, equality across the board. Equality across the board. Like, I can date this fine Latina woman. She don't even have to carry a child. I'm just popping them out of my back.
That's true.
Like, I can launch them at enemies, okay? Like this. And was it the other? It's a manatee and
a mermaid and manatee in Mexico. Yeah,
and a
right.
mermaid and manatee. And so what do I have left? I got to sell one. I got to kill one.
No, nothing dies. You just be one,
Nothing
raise one,
dies?
sell one, then fuck one.
Okay, I got to raise one. So my options that are left, I got to raise one and I got to sell one.
Yeah.
I got to sell one, and I'm left with 2 aquatic creatures. So here's the thing, like, no matter what I raise, the shit's in the water, and I'm a mogwai. So immediately off the bat, for whatever that child is, I'm an absentee father. Because they're in the water, and things happen like a Marvel film whenever I get wet. So understand that I'm just going to throw bread at you from the shore, no matter what you are. And, good luck in college. But, hey, I don't exactly know how. Like, say, if I just ejected one out of my back and then you grew to be a manatee. I don't know. Like, be what you want to be. You grew to be a manatee, but now you're in the water and dad's on shore. So unless you want to see things pop off like Endgame, and if I jump in the water... And all of a sudden, I'm like, blah, 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 like it's like like Pop Secret, like just popcorn kids popping out my bag. It'll fill up.
Sure it'll fill up the water.
It'll fill up.
Oh, wow.
Like, listen, okay. Sea levels are already rising.
Yeah.
But if I fill the ocean with billions of mogwai offspring, born of the water, and now because I jump in and be like, hey, like whatever it is, manatee, mermaid, don't matter what the kid is. But if I say if I gotta jump in the water and be like, hey, you want some brothers and sisters, like you want some siblings, so you're not alone? Okay, cannonball, bam, 50 off the bat,
Go.
And not only that, but now like mogwai that are born in water.
Yeah.
Like if we have like a hippie water birth,
It's like the avatars in the water.
yeah, we have
Yeah.
a hippie. Like, man, this is like chicken and the egg kind of thing.
Which one came first?
If a mogwai is born in the water, does the mogwai shit happen immediately? Where because you can't get him wet.
Right.
But if he's born in the water and he's immediately wet,
Does it pop automatically
Does it
turn
happen
a
immediately?
gremlin or
do you got to wait until he hits puberty? Does he have 18 years of sea creature life? And he hits
like a tadpole?
He got to 12 years before he hits puberty.
Right.
And all of a sudden he's like, my hormones. And he's like, shit, water. Pop, 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 pop. And it's like,
fucking hormones. Oh man.
so no matter what happens, no matter if I sell one or if I raise one, I don't know. Like, okay, I would raise the mermaid because Hollywood reboots every 20 to 30 years. So who better to cast in Little Mermaid than an actual mermaid?
Actual mermaid.
Okay, so that's my kid. I'm ready to be the father of a Hollywood child.
We got you. She already underwater. We can take actual underwater film of her.
Or unless budgets have increased to the point where we can't afford an orca and we got a free willy with a manatee. We coming back with the dollar store. We come back with the dollar store free willy.
Look, all right, we couldn't get the orcas, but it's not even the next best thing.
Everybody saw Blackfish and remembers it. Okay, so now we got to put a manatee in the thing.
Shit.
Yeah. So yeah.
Squishy.
I got to raise the mermaid because then I can be a Hollywood child, and then the manatee. I gotta I gotta sell that one.
Yeah, you sell that.
I gotta sell that one.
Money regardless.
Well, either way, like I sell the mermaid, I make a movie deal. That's
Either way, we win it.
Either way, I win it. Either way, I got my Latina to spend my life with.
Yeah.
And I am a Hulk gremlin. Launching babies, defeating the
you get together
defeating
like
the patriarchy. By birthing babies. That's what it is.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That's what I thought about. Eye to eye. It's like, oh shit. All right. All them gremlins. All right, everybody. Goddamn it.
Yeah,
let them know where they can find you at, man.
I'm on Instagram, occasionally. Trying to post, promotions for shows, but it's at Third Coast Chad. If you like podcasts, because I don't even think I'm monetized anymore, but there's like 1,000 hours of me talking on the Third Coast Nerds podcast, which I might revive after the special recording. Might figure out something to do because podcasting is fun. I don't know.
It is.
But yeah, Third Coast Chad, and you can go to the link tree and find all the links to all the stuff that I've done, past, present, maybe future. We'll see.
That's what's up. Fuck yeah, man. This has been good, man. Well, this has been Tell Me a Joke, the guy line and chasing the dream. I'm your host of Maniacal Menace. The whole thing like a pimp named Slickback. And I didn't even say the whole thing just now. I forgot the Kyle Smith part. Sometimes the real niggas fuck up. So, it's all right. Keep dreaming, jokers. I always fuck that up, too. I think it's keep joking, dreamers. One of them.
Either way. Like, look, we are chasing dreams because we are recording this podcast beside a highway.
Oh, at a Wolfie's. We forgot to tell them we at Wolfie's. Where I used to do music bingo at. And don't none of these motherfuckers remember me. Trying to make eye contact. Like, I know people here, Chad, and there ain't nobody looking at me like, I don't remember this motherfucker.
Because they see you walk in, they going like, oh, he came back for a job. Don't look at him. Don't tell him we got openings, because I like these tips. Don't tell him we got openings.
Until next time, everybody. Goddamn it, y'all have a good one.